All right, everybody. You're all in listen only mode. Let me know that you can hear me. This is Greg Ryder coming at you. It's 5:02 and we're going to get started here real quick. I just want to make sure that the audio is going good and everyone can hear everybody. And let me know where you're calling in from. Just say, hey, this is Greg. I'm in Escondido, California. I'm going to see that question box and then we're going to get our, yeah, good. Yeah, okay, here we go. I see everyone on here. Perfect. They can all hear me. We got Andre in Canada, Candace in Arizona. We had Joel. What's going on, Joel? I hear Dwight. He can hear me okay. And Deborah's on, and Candace is on, and Shane is on, and Elijah's on. New Zealand is in the house. All right, I love it. All right, perfect. London, UK, perfect, 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 perfect. All right, everybody. Well, everyone, they're flowing in here. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds register for this training with Will Hammerall. And I'm not sure exactly I'm even pronouncing his last name. I've always just called him Will properly. But I will say this about Will, PPC Coach. He has been doing this and teaching and training and coaching e-commerce sellers in the areas of print on demand, manufacture on demand, and Etsy and t-shirts and jewelry for years and years and years and years. He's been through the good times, the bad times, and he just keeps on cooking. He's so steady, so consistent, and he just really has an amazing methodology of teaching people. And that's one of the things he loves to do. And so when he heard about LaunchCart, he did not know what we had going on. And we started talking, and I said, hey, could you do a training on LaunchCart, and we'll introduce you to all of our fans, and he's introduced us to his audience as well. So Will, are you there?
I am here. Thanks, Rick.
All right, man.
And
well, I sure appreciate
my last name, you almost had it right. It's Hay to a guy named Merle. Hey, Merle.
Hey, Merle. Okay. Hey, Merle. Okay,
You're super close.
That's a good way to remember it. That's like with me with my last name. Like writer, how do you spell that? I'm like, well, like a typewriter, like an author.
Right. Perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thank you everybody for coming on. I appreciate everyone taking time out of their day, and I do see one of my New Zealand guys here, so that's awesome. He was with me this morning on another training that I was doing, so welcome. He's gone long day, but I would say he's the furthest away by far so far from what I've seen. But I thought I saw Mexico in there too. I'm not sure. I have to go back through. But anyway, I'm going to dive in because we have a lot of ground to cover. I do have a lot of training for you guys tonight, and my goal basically for this webinar is pretty simple. I want to help you. I want to help you hit 300 sales in 30 days. That is the goal. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to type them in the chat box. We do have some time reserved at the end for Q&A as well. So if I don't get to you right away or Greg doesn't, we'll definitely get to you at the end, okay? All right, so who is this for? Basically the following people. People who are tired of failing online, people who want something new and unique, aka LaunchCart, action takers, people with an internal drive that just won't shut off, and basically people that want to hit that 300 sales in 30 days mark. So why 300 sales in 30 days? Well, I wanted to make your goal a fraction of what I've done in 30 days. So if I'm not doing it, then basically I have no business teaching you how. So this is one of my screenshots from one of my companies that I use. And you can see I got 1377 sales in the last 28 days. This was during a Q4 rush, but 300 out of 1377 in 28 days is basically 21.8% of what I do. I think you guys can all achieve that too. So my goal is to get you to basically 21.8% of my sales in 30 days. That's 300 sales. And how? By following my training and more importantly, getting support. So I am a 7-figure seller. I've done what most will never do. There are people that are ahead of me and there's a lot of people that I can help out there. So if you stay until the end, we do have something special for you, very special. But real quick, people always say, well, if you're a 7-figure seller, what the heck are you teaching other people to do that for? Just keep it all to yourself and make the money. So why do I do this stuff? Well, there's more to life than sitting alone on your computer making money. So I sit here in my house, in my front office, at my house, and I'm basically alone. So it's a lonely job. It's a very rewarding job, but helping others succeed, I learned a long time ago, is almost more rewarding. So here's a look at a few from MD here. Those who can't sell teach, right? Isn't applicable for Will. Will is the man. He's a top tier POD seller, print on demand, and an amazing teacher. His coaching method is suitable for both beginners and advanced marketers. I love that. Mandy says this: I've known Will for a few years and have a couple of his courses. You'll always learn something from him, whether at the beginning, intermediate, or advanced stage of your business. He teaches what is working for him now, and he teaches in a simple, easy to understand way. I was able to implement one of his courses, and within the first lesson, made my investment back. Also, Kristen, I purchased almost all courses from Will since 2018, and I've been around since 2007, so she missed a few, but that's okay. Will's always provided refreshing methods and assets at work. Will does exactly what he teaches and has proven that his methods work because he's interacting with students inside his forums. As opposed to the gurus, Will is doing it himself. Is doing himself what he is teaching and sharing his exact results. He's showing every detail of his results, and he provides some killer step-by-step systems. His stuff is easy to follow and implement. He's telling you what to do in a real and refreshing way. I recommend everything he's teaching. So basically, that's why I do it. The money's great, but that's actually more rewarding to me, and that's why I put together this 300 sales in 30 days boot camp. More on that later, though. Time for the intro, and I promise I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I know there's a lot of people from like basically my world and a lot of people from Greg's world on here. So I figured, who am I? Well, most of you know me already, but some may not. That's my fugly mug. My name's Will. I've got 5 daughters. They all have H names for some odd reason. I live in London, Ontario, Canada. I love helping people with my coaching and courses. I'm the founder of PPC Coach, trained well over 10,000 online marketers since 2007. I basically started part-time in 2005. So I am a veteran in this online advertising world, as you can see by the gray hair in my beard. So I have had big payouts for a long time, so I'm quite used to that. But this one is basically, it's a picture of my first big check in November 23rd of 2005. The amount is hard to see, but it is $17,489.53. We didn't even have those high resolution cameras back then. This was actually taken on one of those you hold in your hand, not your phone. That was generating secured loan leads using Google AdWords, and I sold them to banks and loan companies in the UK. Now, though, I focus on my own stores and print on demand. So after that check, I basically said the weirdest thing you're ever going to say to a spouse or partner. I said, we're sitting there having dinner one night, and I looked at her and I said, I have to quit my job to start making money. And you don't hear people saying that too often, but I did. I quit my job. The last shift I had was December 31st, 2006. I did that on purpose on a New Year's Eve because I wanted it to be something I could remember. And I've now sold well over $1 million in physical products and counting with print on demand. I've done it with a lot of different methods over time. And I'm actually over 1 million now for my courses and coaching too. So I work in both worlds at the same time. And the old saying is, those who can't do teach, not me. So I actually practice what I preach, which is unlike a lot of others out there. If you do want some proof, I don't blame you. I'm going to go through some proof real quick here. This is another Q4 run. One day, 89 sales, $2,853.21 in revenue. This is where most people will stop. So if this was a Shopify screenshot, they wouldn't show you this part. This was the actual ad campaign. So this is what I spent to get those sales. But I'm not going to stop there. It was actually 2. So if you add those up, it's basically $1,323.92 that I had to spend to get that. Okay. That means that was actually my profit. So when I convert that from US dollars to Canadian, because I live in the Great White North, I get a beautiful pay bump. So I actually did $1,738.55 in Canadian dollars on that day. That's one day. That was fantastic. That was in Q4. So do I have your attention? I'm not doing that to brag. I'm just doing it to say, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I've been doing it for a long time. Enough fluff though. Let's get into the training. So today we will cover 3 things. Number 1, what to sell. Number 2 is how to sell it. And number 3 is how to ensure your success. So number 1, diving right in. Like I said, we got to move along because we got a lot of ground. What is the goal? Well, there's 2 things with what to sell. Number 1 is we want to sell things right now. So this depends basically on the time of year that we're in. And number 2 is we want to sell things year round. So we always want to be planning for the next month as too. It's not just relying on like holidays and gift sales. There's more to it than that. And there's a lot of different products that we can sell. So number one is right now, this is kind of like the holiday angle. So as we're shooting this, back to school is coming up, then Halloween, then Christmas, and Christmas is huge. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day is huge. Mother's Day is huge. Father's Day is huge. Memorial Day and Labor Day are actually pretty big too. So which one is next? It depends on when you're watching this, but as of right now, back to school is next. So you're thinking, okay, people from like my kind of following will be like, well, I'm big time into jewelry. What the heck am I going to do for the back to school crowd? It's kind of hard. You can't really do much. But there are other products out there that do work for the back to school crowd, like apparel. So like a mom buying like a first grade, first grade shirt, whatever, for a little kid to wear to school on their first day of first grade, stuff like that. So that works very, very well as far as the right now can go. So when you're creating products for right now, if you want an example, I'll show you one. Here's one for Halloween. So what could you sell for Halloween? You can't really sell a piece of jewelry, but you could certainly sell like a t-shirt. So here's one, and this is really easy to make. And this is actually, I pulled this one from Etsy using some of the tools that I have. They will give me the approximate sales, and I know what it sold for. I know the revenue, and I can assume the profit margin from this. So this one had approximately 820 sales. It was on sale for 1610, so their margins were pretty slim. That's why I put the profit at 25%. But if you take 820 times 16, you're at 13,000 revenue produced. Profit is about 3,300. So, I mean, most guys stop at the revenue because they want to wow you, but there is fees, there is base costs, there is everything else involved in that. So I would peg that at about 3,300. Now, could you make a design like this? Absolutely, you could. Could you make more than just this? Absolutely, you could. You could whip up Canva right now. You could open it up and you could make a design very similar to that very easily and list it on your own store and sell it for Halloween. That will work very, very well. So next, you want to find more products. So after you've done like back to school, you've done Halloween, then you want to get into Christmas, and now you want to sell for the next holiday on your store. So in this case, I use an example of Christmas. That's the biggest time of year for online stores by far. And what is like what one thing that you can sell? I mean, there's tons of options. You can do mugs, you can do t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, canvas prints. You can even do ornaments now, candles. There's a wide variety of things that you can do for Christmas. You can even do jewelry like a necklace or a message card or something like that. But one of the ones that I actually found right on Etsy is, and if you know what movies that's from, this is a very popular one, is ugly Christmas sweaters. So you can have a store and you could sell ugly Christmas sweaters as one of your products. This one that I found on actually on Etsy, it sells about 1,613 were sold. The price was 6708. That this one ugly Christmas sweater produced about $108,000 in revenue. So I would say their profit is about 27,000 from this ugly thing that somebody just listed on their Etsy shop. So why do I keep saying Etsy shop? Because I actually have spy tools where I can look at what's selling on Etsy and then I can make my own version and put it on my own store. That's the super, like, that's one of the secrets to making it all work. You don't just want to jam your store with any old product. You want to make sure it's actually in demand and selling somewhere. So could you make one of these? Absolutely. It doesn't even have to be an all over print. It could just be the middle part of the sweatshirt. And in fact, I have a lot of designs that I got made from guys on Fiverr and I sell them every Christmas. Like, and they sell like hotcakes. So could you make more than just this one from National Lampoons? Absolutely you could. And it works very, very well. So that's just two holidays and two proven sellers you could sell on your own store too. So now, what about number two, year round? So what are we talking about there? Well, what happens all the time? Birthdays and anniversaries. They're spread out throughout the year. Everybody's got a different one. So you could have products on your store that are selling for birthday gifts or products that are on your store selling for anniversary gifts. Jewelry works very well for that, but it doesn't have to be jewelry. It could be a mug. It could be a shirt. It could be a sweatshirt, a hoodie. It could be that candle. It could be anything. Whatever, basically whatever your print on demand supplier has available, you can turn that into a gift. So we've got to get out. A lot of the people in my universe, they're stuck in that jewelry phase and they haven't expanded beyond that yet. So I want to make sure that I show them that, hey, there's more out there. So this happens all the time. This is stuff that we can put on our store. And could you list those products? 100% yes, definitely. So you like what you see there? I mean, I hope you're getting excited. I only showed two. I could spend basically hours just showing you example products, but we do need to move on. So let's look at the next part now, which is basically where people get tripped up a lot, and that is how to sell it. So how to sell, it's getting harder and harder. There are more and more competition out there, which means ad costs are rising. Now, my system doesn't really involve ad costs until you're scaling, to be honest, because Facebook keeps banning people for no good reason. It's very annoying when you have a great method working or you have a great product going, and then out of the blue you wake up one day, you check your stats, and you get that death screen from Facebook. And it's like, oh, now my whole business is wiped out. Well, I have gray hair because I've been through all that already. I know exactly what it's like. My ad account went down. This is the 10th time it's been down. I've gotten it back every time, but I'm kind of sick of that. I don't really want that, so I had to develop free traffic methods, and I had to look at ads on TikTok instead, and even YouTube ads and Google search and Google shopping and all that good stuff that you can run when you have your own store online. So most sellers also, they have no system and basically no plan of attack, which makes succeeding very, very difficult. So the solution to that is basically my 5-step system. And if you follow these steps, then you will definitely 100% succeed. So step one is the research phase. This is where you can pick a niche, you can pick a holiday, you can pick a time of the year, whatever it may be, find products in that niche related to that holiday, whatever it may be. Go to Etsy, go to Amazon, go to Google. I like to take screenshots of good stuff that I find, and then you can actually build up a research database. And my research database is simply a Google sheet with a couple column headings. I'll take a screenshot. You can insert images into a Google sheet, which makes it very fancy. Or you could take it a step further and use something like Airtable if you really wanted, but you don't need to. So even better than all that, doing it manually, is use spy tools. And I've got a couple that I really, really like. And my favorite thing is going over here to Etsy, using my spy tools, finding what's working, taking screenshots, taking notes, and then making my own version, listing it on my own store, and selling it there. That way I don't have to list like 100 products to find one winner. I can list like 10 products, and I can really focus on SEO. I can focus on my free traffic. I can focus on doing everything right. And it's basically just all about working smarter, not harder. I've seen too many people that have got basically brainwashed with this notion that the more you put out there, the better your odds of success is going to be. So you got to put a ton of products out there, and they don't spend enough time on the product figuring out, do people even want this? Is it even in demand? Is it something that's even going to work? They just throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and hope something sticks, and something will eventually stick, but that's not a good way to go about it. So step two, once you know what you want to do, create a design. And this is where you can do it yourself. Used to be Photoshop was my favorite. Now Canva is basically my favorite one ever. The only thing with Canva, you have to be careful. There are licensing issues. You can't just pull an image or an element from Canva and use it as a standalone in a print on demand product. You either have to combine at least two and layer them, and then you flatten the image into like a PNG, then you can use it. Same with Photoshop. Photopea is an online version of Photoshop that's available for free, and GIMP, like what a name, right? That's another program that you can use to design your images. And these are images that you're going to use to actually launch your products on your store, because all we need is an image. We're going to be doing print on demand, so we don't need to buy anything in advance. The only time the product is actually printed, packed, and shipped is after the sale takes place on your store. So you get money up front, then you pay the print on demand company to print, pack, and ship it. Then they will update your store, update you with the tracking number, so your customers know exactly where that thing is in the mail. You can also outsource it. So I get a lot of people that say, you know what, I'm not a designer. There is no way I'm going to be able to create a design. Well, Fiverr is your best friend. There's more expensive options like 99designs.com. I've actually used them in the past. And your own designer, there's Upwork. You could hire your own. There's another company that you could use too, Design Pickle. They have a lot of products there. Kappa 99 Cap or Kappa 99, I can't remember what they're called, but they can do it too. So you have options. You can do it yourself or you can outsource this. Once you have a design, then you move on to step three. Now, step three for us is basically launchcard.com. This is an
Hey,
awesome solution.
hey, Will,
So
real quick,
yeah.
the other one you got on there is Launchcard's Design Marketplace.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we got that too. Good call. Yeah, Launchcard actually has their own marketplace for designs that you can use, which is fantastic. Nobody else has that. So they have tons of built-in apps. They integrate with print-on-demand companies. They allow for list building. They allow for upsells, which is huge because this is where the big money is made. If you think about it, if you're to use something like a competitor like Shopify, when you do, it's nice that they charge like $30 a month. That's for Shopify only. Now you add in all these apps, like the upsell apps. Some of them are like $100 a month for the upsell app alone, which is just nuts. There's no page builders. There's nothing else to it. So I think what Greg did at Launchcard is he looked at that problem and he solved it, which is wonderful. Oh, I think there's a switch here, which is wonderful. Okay. So Shopify is also, I don't know if you guys saw that, but they're laying off people at the moment. So whenever I see something like that, I think the first people they lay off is customer service. And when I'm a seller, I want customer service to be the last thing they lay off because that means it's time to diversify your store platforms as well. For me personally, I recently had one of the platforms that I use for my jewelry totally remove the platform. And I was like, uh-oh, now what do I do? Well, now they said you are forced to go to Shopify or you're forced to go to Etsy to use it. And I was like, I don't like that. Like, what if I had all my products with them and they pulled that down on me? So my whole thing is diversify for safety. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and find good platforms that you can trust too. So that's why I really like this with Launchcart, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in the boot camp. All right, number 4, test it. So here's the thing. Not everything you do is going to work, so you have to test it. That means you have to offer your product to real live humans. If you look at a product, or if you ask me or ask anybody, what do you think of this product? My opinion, your opinion, does not matter one bit. The only person's opinion that matters is the buyer, because I might not be in your market, I might not be in your demographic, I might not like the colors you use, but somebody else might. So what I think of a product doesn't really matter. The real hard data is what matters. And the only way to find that is by offering a product to real life humans. If they buy, it's good. If they don't, move on to the next. You can test with free traffic too. People get so hung up on this ad thing and Facebook ads only, and they think, they get tunnel vision to that. And that's not the only way to do this. So if it doesn't work, do not worry. Really, the only difference between me and you, and between me and an even bigger seller, is that like I've tested and therefore failed more. That's why I'm succeeding, because I'm not afraid of failure. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It actually gets me one step closer to success. So you have to test. That's step 4. Step 5 is scale it. So now you found a winner. Now you want to get more sales. So the way that you scale any product is by spending more money on it to make more money. That means running ads. That's what I do. You don't want to scale too quickly though. You want to gain experience, gain confidence, then you can start spending more and more until you're at the point where you're very comfortable, you have your systems down, you know how to make those ads, you know how to manage those campaigns, you know what works, you know what doesn't. You could easily, well, not easily, you could take the hard way and try and learn that all on your own, or you can take some shortcuts. So pretty slick system. I think it is. That's my 5 steps. You basically rinse and repeat until you find those big winners. And now the big winner, what is it? Well, it only takes one of these to really make a lot of money. And I've had big winners that have done like $250,000 alone on one single product. I've had a lot that have done like 160, 150,000. It's amazing. The hardest part though of the big winner is finding it. And that's where you have to test like crazy. Use some of the shortcuts that I've developed, but when you hit one, there is absolutely zero doubt. So people always say, "How do I know if I have a big winner?" You just know. Like you look at it and you go, "Yeah, that's a winner. I got to do something with that. I got to scale that. I got to get more out of that." So, does the system make sense? I think so. If you follow those 5 steps alone, you're going to succeed. There's no doubt about it. So, do you think this will work for you? It absolutely can. So the question is, well, why do people fail? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First, they do one test, it fails, and they quit. They go onto Facebook and they start scrolling through and they see this ad for another course or another coaching program or whatever it may be, and they fall victim to shiny object syndrome. And our generation is horrible for not being able to focus for more than like 10 seconds. That's why TikTok is so popular right now, because we have the attention span of a dog chasing a squirrel. It is so short. We can't seem to focus on something for longer than like 10 seconds anymore. If we could, we do a lot better. So if you go in knowing that you can't just do one test, because your one test is probably going to fail. When it does fail, you move on to the next. You don't quit. Okay, the second reason is people try to do things all alone. They try reverse engineering successful sellers. I've done this route for years, and I can tell you being unique and being first to market always beats this. So if you see something that's selling really, really well and you just go make a carbon copy of it, odds are it's already eaten up all the market share on you. And if you're advertising on the same platform or showing your product in the same free traffic places, all those sales are already gone. So you're just picking up scraps. And then you wonder why it doesn't work. Well, if you put your own spin on something that's already working, then you have a new and unique product and you're first to market with that, you'll do a lot better. So just don't try and do it alone. Try and get some help with this. Third, and this is the worst, people follow outdated methods and they follow one-hit wonders. So outdated methods is basically, I know I've launched a lot of courses, and pretty much within a few months of me launching that course, something will change. And I'm like, oh crap, like maybe the algorithm changed on Facebook, or TikTok isn't doing the things the same way, or Instagram isn't sharing things the same way. So my method that I used before is now outdated. I've been through so many Facebook ad campaign methods. It's not even funny. I've have more now that don't work than do work, just because I've been at it so long. So the outdated methods you have to be careful with. If something is too old, it doesn't work. So I mean, the solution to that is go with real time stuff, go with live stuff, go with live training. The most up to date possible training you can get is live. It's not a course. If you see a course that's been out for like a year and they're still pushing it, it's outdated. I hate to say it, but they need to update it. So one hit wonders, I mean, we all know who that is. That's the guy you see had a great run during Christmas or something like that 1 year, and next thing you know, they're selling a course on it or they're selling a coaching program, and they really honestly got lucky, and they haven't survived the ups and downs and the good times and the bad times yet. So you got to be careful with one hit wonders, because they come off as really good, but they're not the best. So I mean, does this sound difficult? It can be, but that's just like anything, though, right? With some help, do you think you could do it? So I put this guy here. I don't really see what you did there, but when I do, it was just now. All right. Anyway, you've got a lot of training so far. Let's look at the last part of the webinar now, which is, I think we're right on schedule here. Yeah, good. That's number 3, which is basically how to ensure success. Now, wouldn't that be nice if we could guarantee it? There's only 3 things guaranteed in life that I know of: death, taxes, and things are going to change. So I can't guarantee success to anybody. I wish I could, but I can't. So I've sold a lot of courses over the years. There's one sold like 1,220 of that. I run boot camps. I've run a lot of these. I made over 6 figures on those so far. I've got a membership site. It's got over 200 members so far. I coach people one-on-one for a premium fee, and I noticed something. There's a lot of information out there. So people love YouTube. I mean, when I was building the shed in my yard, I went to YouTube to make sure that I was doing the framing right, and I was doing the foundation right, and I was doing the roof right, and I had the right angles, and I was using the right underlay, and I was using the right shingles, and I was using the right what's it called, the flashing and everything out, and I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right. So something like that, yeah, you can go to YouTube. But I found when I went to YouTube to build my shed, there was a bunch of different people with a bunch of different ways that they did it, and I was like, the way that I went with is the way that I thought made most sense to me, but I don't know if it's the absolute right way. So you got to be very, very careful with that. I mean, you can learn a lot uh, from YouTube, and I'm sure you've already tried on your own, but you're going to get a ton of information. But in this case, we're not building a shed. It's a little bit more complicated, honestly. So on your own, explained, you go to YouTube, you search for how to make money with my own online store, and you're going to find a ton of information. Like I said, you're going to get one hit wonders. There are fakers out there, fake it till you make it. Outdated methods, differing opinions. So now you have something. It's not the solution, but you have something. And it's something that really slows you down more than anything, and that's called information overload. And that just leads to this analysis paralysis. So you're overanalyzing, you're overthinking a situation so that a decision or an action is never taken. I've been there before. I do not like that feeling at all. It's like you get so frazzled. You're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to end. Let's just go back on there and find something else. It means you literally don't know what to do next. You've got so much information, but there's no clear path from A to B. So, plus, on top of that, some info is just wrong. So, how do you know what's right and what's wrong? You don't. So, you try it all, or you don't do anything. And you end up like this. You're stressed, you got a headache, and you're right back to square one. You feel like you just waste a lot of your time. I've seen this time and time again over the years. It's frustrating to watch people go through this. It actually does make me sad. I do not like it. So what's the solution? It's simple. Get help from an expert who's been there, done that, and has a T-shirt already. So imagine this, just for a second. You want to be a bodybuilder, and I know not everybody does, but who would you want to teach you? Scrawny McGee, or would you want this guy? Now, of course, right? You'd want Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'd want the best. You would not want some wimpy kid trying to give you a routine to build up your biceps or delts or whatever you're doing. If you had Arnold teaching you, do you think you become a pretty good bodybuilder? Even if you just absorb like maybe even 10% of what he could teach you, you would be further ahead than getting somebody who didn't know what they were doing. So another example, um, back years and years ago, I lost 100 pounds in 106 days, which is not healthy. I don't recommend it at all. But I followed a diet and a routine, and I didn't lose it all overnight. I actually gained a lot of it back since. But anyway, I know I can do it. So do you know how I learned my weight routine at the gym? It was his Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding that I bought when I was 15. It's like a 5-inch thick book, and it's got like every exercise in there for everything you want to do. I went to a pro even when I was young. I went to a pro because I'm like, I got to figure this out. And I bought that when I was like 15 years old, went to the gym, used it religiously. The diet to follow. I actually had a friend who was a former Olympian, and she gave me a diet plan to follow. And without that help, I would never have lost that weight. I mean, without taking action, I would never have lost that weight. But people see success and they think it was easy, and it's not. I remember when I lost that weight, everybody's like, "Oh, you look great. I don't even recognize you. That's so awesome. That oh man, you must feel so good." And that blah blah blah. It was probably so easy for you. And I'm like, nah, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So my question is, how do you ensure success? Well, you need to do something too, and that is basically following a system that works and get some help from an expert. So here's a couple. They followed a system. Janet saying, I just want to let you know that Will Hammerl is a great teacher. His teaching style fit well with me as he tells things as they are with no fluff. I don't have the time to sit through training that rambles on. Will does not do that. Instead, he gets right to the point. I get the feeling he truly cares about his students and wants them to be as successful as him. I cannot recommend his courses enough. If you're just getting started or wanting to take your business to the next level, trust Will. I do and still do. And she actually still does. Both these are still students of mine. Beth, after several years of smoke and mirrors, that's a good way to put it, from other so-called gurus, I stumbled upon Will. His teaching style is relaxed, and I feel like I'm hanging out with one of my smarter friends. No fluff or BS, just actionable steps you can take today to increase your sales. I always learn something new that I can use right away. If you're serious about making money with print on demand, he's the only person you should be following. So I thought that was pretty awesome. The basic gist is this: someone needs to show you. Otherwise, how do you know what to do? I had someone show me, and without them, I wouldn't have been self-employed since 2007. I actually went part-time in 2005 because I found a mentor online. And I said, show me what you're doing. And it just so happened he was launching a program where he had an offer that he was teaching people how to do it. And he was also brokering the offer for the loan leads. So he got a cut of every lead. So he was happy to show people how to do it because as he made more money, as I made more money, he made more money too. And it was a win-win situation. It was awesome. So it's like anything in life, you learn first from people who know how. So what if there was someone who could help you learn? What if there was a boot camp on all this? What if it walked you through every single step in detail? Would that help you? I hope you're nodding your head yes. So let me ask a question. Are you enjoying this all so far? Do you think this stuff can work for you? So we've covered basically what to sell, and how to ensure success, how to sell it, I should say, and how to ensure success. So my question for you at this point is, do you want to take it to the next level? Introducing the 300 Sales in 30 Days Boot Camp. So the info and the methods that I've shown today, they only scratch the surface, not even a dent. The boot camp is all about this, showing you exactly what to do by watching me over the shoulder. So instead of looking at a screen where you're looking at a slide, you're watching me in the dashboard doing everything. You see the ad campaigns when we run them, you see the free traffic stuff, you see everything. You learn my entire thought process because I walk you through it. I talk you through it as I'm doing it. It is step by step. It is planned out. It is in detail. It is a proven system to get you profitable. So what is it though? It's 4 live training sessions. It's group coaching delivered online in a private Facebook group. So I'm not a super fan of Facebook, but in this case, I'll use it for this. So the complete system with all the methods shown from A to Z. So it sounds too good to be true. It's not, but it's not going to be super cheap either. So what you're going to get with this, the 300 Sales in 30 Days Bootcamp, is 4 live webinars, over the shoulder training. They're spread a week apart, so it gives you time to actually do the homework from the webinar in between. You watch me do it, then you apply what I did to your own store and your own product. So that's valued at $19.97 right there. I also have some amazing bonuses for you, but first, are you tired of struggling? This will fix this permanently. So were you doing things the wrong way? It's not your fault. I mean, it is a freaking jungle out there. It's so hard to figure out. I actually feel sorry for new people just getting into this because there's so much misinformation out there. So maybe you were flying solo. You could use some support. Have you ever tried to talk to your spouse or your friends or your family about um, your own online store or print on demand or making money online in general? And you can see their eyes glaze over as they roll back into the back of their head and they're like, yeah, go get a job. Or just focus on your job. Don't bother with that. Or my favorite, that's a scam. Don't bother with that. It's like, come on, man. So you need a group of people who speak your language, are like-minded individuals, all with the same goal. So I can fix that if you let me. And that's basically what the first bonus is. You don't have to fly solo anymore. It's bonus number 1, a dedicated private Facebook mastermind group for group coaching and support. So it is as valuable as the training itself, and that's $19.97 value right there. The group and the live training sessions are awesome. But let's add another part to it. And I've done this before and it worked. So basically bonus number 2 is 10 designs minimum to use on your own store. So this is where a lot of people get stuck too. They like what they see and then they go to do the design and it's like staring at a blank screen as a writer and they can't move past that. So I actually give you 10 designs that you can use on your own store. So remember I said the hardest part is finding a big winner? Well, you're going to watch me find a big winner over my shoulder and then you can have it and you can profit from it in your own accounts. So when I keep listing products on my store, I'm going to catch big winners. You're going to see it and then you're going to go, boom, there you go. I mean, you probably should make your own version, but in this one case, I will make an exception and let you copy it. So if you only got that, would it be worth it? I think so. So we're talking the live webinars, 1997, the private Facebook group, 1997, the designs used in it in the boot camp, not challenge, 497. So we're up to $4,491 in value. So how about a third bonus? I think this is huge too. Greg has offered 50% off any annual plan. And you can stick to the free plan too, no pressure. But as you move up and as you make more money, you're going to want to unlock more options to run your business more efficiently and better. So 50% off any annual plan of LaunchCart, which is super. They do have a free version, so don't worry about that. And there's a fourth bonus too. So this is basically a free growth plan from ThriveCart for 1 year, but there's one catch. So in order to get the free growth plan for 1 year, you have to hit 300 sales in 30 days to get that free plan bonus. But I mean, that's why you're here. You're here to get those 300 sales in 30 days, right? So here's a summary of everything: the live training, the private Facebook mastermind group, the designs, launch card 50% annual plan discount. I put that at 582 value, 330 free growth plan for 1 year, which is very generous. That's actually worth about $1,164 because it's about $97 a month. So your total value there is $6,237. Now, that sounds absurd, right? $6,237 in value. Like, come on, Will. But it really is that much value. So I'm trying to make it irresistible. I want this to be an absolute no-brainer for you. And let's put this into perspective. You've got disposable income. You spend money daily on coffee or going out or going to the movies or whatever it may be. you do that. You've got bills that you got to pay. When you pay those, like right now, I drive a Suburban. When I fill up my gas tank, it currently costs me $177 to fill up my tank. So that's nuts. But I've got to use my income, my disposable income, I guess, after to pay that. And that's weekly. So if you take 177 times 4, that's what I'm paying per month just in gas. And the only return I'm getting on gas is I get to go wherever I want to go. So anyway, let's say you get your 300 sales and you're making $10 profit per sale. So how much is that in your pocket? Well, 300 times 10 is $3,000, meaning you just paid for the boot camp and a heck of a lot more. So the best part, that's just 30 days. There's 11 more months in the year to keep doing that. So back to the offer for a second. It's a pretty good package so far. It took us a while to put this all together, but you've got two choices. You can do nothing. Don't take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Go back to doing whatever you were before you spent time with me today, or basically pony up a small amount of money compared to what you'll spend on your own learning the systems through trial and error, not to mention all the value you're getting. So it's almost decision time for you guys. Just to summarize again what you're getting: live training, the group, the designs, the 50% annual plan discount if you want it, and then the bonus of hit 330 and you'll get a free growth plan for a year. So there you go, $6,237. That's a ton of value. It is everything you need to finally profit online. And there's two types of people who come on webinars, okay? There's Lazy Larry and there's Take Action Ted. And I love his shirt, Fist Pump Champion of the World. I want more of these guys, okay? Information alone is not going to help you. Taking action on that information will though. So I've put together a package today that will over deliver on value for you. If you want an awesome store, complete with upsells, list building, page builder, and more, this is it. If you want a proven system that works with your store, if you want me to teach it to you in real time, so no outdated course, you got it. You want the designs I use? There you go. That alone is worth the price of admission. You want my help to finally succeed with your own online store? You get all that, and it's not like anything you've seen before. So it's got a combined value of $6,237, but I'm not charging that much, not even close. So the regular price is going to be $997, but since I really want you in this boot camp, it's 50% off right now. So it's $498.50, $498.50. That's less than I spend on gas in a month. Now, mind you, I drive a pig of a truck, but still. You can get started right now, 50% off. Just go here, ppc-coach.com/300. You get instant access. It's a limited time offer. Do not wait on this, all right? If you want some perspective, and it should be, oh, it's not down on the bottom right. It will be in a second. How can I dare charge that much? Well, this is what I charge. There it is, down on the bottom. ppc-coach.com/300. That'll take you right to the checkout page. Now, for one-on-one, that's my highest level. I charge $5,000. So this is far less than that. Plus, if you hit 300 sales at $10 profit per sale, you just paid for it and more. You can repeat this next month. It's paid for itself easily. This bootcamp is not like about one holiday or one thing. This is about getting your store up and running in time for the fourth quarter right now, but it is also a year round that I'm going to cover because I know how important that is for all of you. So if all this did was teach you how to use a powerful store platform, Launchcart, would it be worth it? If all it did was teach you my full system, would that be worth it? If all it did was give you support via the private mastermind group full of like-minded individuals who speak your language, would that be worth it? And if all it did was give you the designs I use in the bootcamp to keep, would that be worth it? I think so. So I think let's get started. Go there, order now for instant access. What is the difference between now and later? Well, basically now you might be struggling. Okay, later you won't be. So get started now. Go there. Limited time offer. It is going up in price. It's going to go back up to $997. So there are some common questions that I get all the time whenever I run webinars like this. I have boot camps out there, so I'm going to go through those, and then we can open it up to a little Q&A. So when does it start is the first question. That is Tuesday, August 9th, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. So you might be saying, oh, I'm on the Pacific Coast, I can't do that. Well, we have a guy from New Zealand on here right now, and it's middle of the night for him. So it is how bad you want it. I have to do these during the day because that's when I work at home. That's when my house is empty. That's when I can have silence. Now, when does it end? It runs for 4 live training sessions. Then the group will be left up for 1 year minimum. Now, the reason I don't say lifetime access is because what if I kick the bucket and I offered you lifetime access and then you come at my estate for a refund? That's not fair to you or me or my state. So I'm just going to say that. Well, the group will be left up for a year. I'm not going anywhere, but that is minimum. It will be longer than that. So will there be replays? Yes, absolutely. You can view the training sessions at any time. In fact, what a lot of people do with my coaching programs is they'll come on the live and they'll just kind of soak it up and they won't really take notes because they know that there's a replay coming. When the replay comes, they can actually pause it, do the steps, then go to the next step, pause it, do the step, go to the next step. So that works a little bit better for a lot of people, especially if you're in a weird time zone or if you don't want to get up at like 2 in the morning to watch a live webinar, because there are people around the world that join these. So what if I've never even heard of Launchcart before? Well, not a problem. I'm going to walk you through it all, like from A to Z. I'm going to show you. And the tech side for me is not a problem at all. I'm very good at that side, and that helps me teach it because I'm very comfortable with it too. So you'll see that mistakes will happen, hurdles will happen, bumps in the road will happen, but you'll also see how I handle them. And that is, I don't panic. I just go, yeah, that happened. Okay, let's fix it. That's what we do, and that's kind of my teaching style too. So does Launchcart have a free version to use? Yes, they do. You just get more options as you unlock higher tiers. Same with their competition too. It's the exact same. So what if I've never sold anything online before? Then that's good. I don't have to break any bad habits, or I don't have to battle people on, well, so and so said this, and so said this, and he said this, and she said this. And like, that's great. They can do it. It works for them. That's wonderful. That's not my system. If you're paying for me, you're paying for my system. Just follow it. Like, that's the best way to do it. I don't mind talking to you about it, but people that have no experience, I actually almost enjoy helping them a little bit better. So how long until I see results? Well, this actually depends on you. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get you up and running quickly and efficiently and make sure you have all the tools that you need to do it and all the support you need to do it. But I mean, this is on you. Okay. So this depends on how much action you take. If you come into this and you go gung ho for the first week, you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to get my store up and running. And then second week comes around, we're doing some research and launching products. And you're like, yeah, this is great. And then we get to the traffic part and you're like, yeah, I'm bored. I quit. Well, then, what can I do? But if you come in, you follow everything step by step and you keep doing it and you rinse and repeat and you do the homework, you're going to succeed. Okay. Now, what experience level do I need to have? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced? It does not matter. It doesn't matter to me. And I am smart enough to know that there are people that know more about certain things than I do. And I accept that. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing because there is no person on this earth that is the smartest person on earth. There is always going to be somebody who knows a bit more about a certain area. There's always going to be people that know a little bit less, and there's people that know about the same. I know that. So I'm very comfortable with that. So for the advanced people coming into the program, I tell them, you're going to pick up a golden nugget or two that's going to more than pay for the cost, which is minimal. And I even still buy courses and I still buy programs, even though I know 95% of what they're teaching already. I'm going for that 5% that I didn't know, or some thought process that I didn't think of, or some angle that I didn't have. And that more than pays for the cost of the course for me. So I am always a student too. Okay, and I hope you guys will keep that too. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't think once you make a million, you're this um, this big dog and you can't learn from anybody else. Never stop learning, right? So what makes this different? Well, the main thing is think of it as a live course. I call it a boot camp. So it's support, it's real time, it's over the shoulder, it covers everything and the kitchen sink. I think this is the absolute best way to learn. And this is the way I've been running my business for a long time now. I still do courses, I like them, but I prefer to do live courses, my boot camps, even more because they get me pumped and they get me making money and they get me motivated because once you hit a certain level, honestly, you get a little bit bored with the repetitive nature of it. So you need things to keep you motivated and keep you accountable and keep you at the cutting edge so you never fall behind. That's why I really like teaching these because I actually make money too, not just from selling the boot camp, but from the actual store itself. So I love that. So what if I'm not a techie? You don't need to be. I show you it all. You can ask questions along the way. And Launchcart themselves, they have an awesome knowledge base and support available too. So don't worry about that. That's not a problem at all. What if I'm not a designer? You don't need to be. I'm not, and I've made, oh man, I can't even count now. Probably 2,000 designs I made. So I'll show you how to do it, and I'll show you how to outsource it if you don't want to do it. And when I say outsource it, you don't have to pay a fortune for this. You could pay like literally $5 on Fiverr for a design. You could put that on your store, put it on a product, and sell it. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be super expensive. But I mean, I like to do things myself and I like to learn things myself too. So, like I said, I shifted recently from Photoshop to Canva. So I had to teach myself Canva again. I taught myself Photoshop. Now I had to switch to a new program that I actually like a little bit more. And yeah, it works. It's just fun. It keeps you sharp, keeps your brain working all the time. So will the methods work year round? Yes, 100%. That was a huge goal of mine, was to make sure that I'm not just focused on one holiday or one event for you. I want to make sure that your store is pumping out sales year round. Now you're going to have periods where you do a lot more sales and you're going to have slow periods. So honestly, the summer for stores online and e-com and print on demand is a super slow time. It's just historically, I used to battle it. I used to fight it. I used to think I could throw enough money at it to fix it. That's not the case. It's like a roller coaster. It moves in cycles, and we are at the low point, but we're approaching the high point. So we're about to go up the hill, big time, in the fourth quarter. And then after the fourth quarter too, it's not the end of it. It still goes through. There's a couple holidays in there that do very, very well, and then summer hits, and people they're not really on their computers buying as much. So if you know that going in, then when you hit a downturn on your store, you don't panic because you've got somebody who's been through these cycles so many years that I know the exact patterns. I could basically tell you which month is best and which is worst, and which is sixth best and seventh best, and I could do that now because I've got all that experience. So how's it delivered? It's online in a Facebook group, 24/7 access for you whenever you want. How much budget do I need? Well, none to start. We're going to work on free traffic methods first. Then we can use paid methods like running ads to scale later. Now, ad wise, there's a lot of options there, but I'll teach you my favorite ones. Okay, I'm not going to teach anything unless I'm doing it. So again, you can get started right now. It's 50% off, $498.50, less than what I pay in gas per month. Actually, my Rogers cable bill is $504 every month because I got like 3 kids on my phone plan too. So yeah, I made this reasonable, and investing this into this program is actually going to provide a return, whereas my cable bill doesn't, my gas bill doesn't, none of that does. So if you're still on the fence, I've just got 2 more testimonials for you. Here's one from Troy, just saying, Will always delivers. This is my 3rd time working with him, and I learned so much each round. He always makes content easy to understand, is always willing to help. Great guy, great value, great expertise. Thank you, Will. And then Mike, Will, I have to say, this is the best training I've received on the web regarding marketing. Money very well spent. Thanks for the great experience. So you can buy now. Now, thank you. You can join now. It is a limited time offer. It's time to take action. So do not sit on the fence. You can get started now. I'm going to leave the URL on the bottom here on the next screen just so you guys can see that. And now we can, if there are any questions, we can take them. I think I did pretty good on time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic, Will. And let me make a couple comments real quick too, right?
Sure.
I want to echo what you said about always investing. I mean, I'm constantly buying courses. I'm constantly investing in another mastermind and constantly trying and you said something that I've thought 1,000 times, but I've never heard anyone else say it. And it's like, all I want to do is get that one little thing that I forgot about, I didn't think about, I didn't know, that can change my business, right?
Yeah.
And for everybody else out there, it kind of comes back to, and I got to tell you, I'm very honored to have you because I've been following you for years and years and years. And I've seen you work on the gear bubbles and the shine-ons and all the kind of stuff and everything you've done. And with you saying, hey, I'm going to get on here and teach people how to do this on Launchcart, I decided while I'm listening to you, I want to sweeten the pie. So what I want to do is I want results for people, and I want people to be motivated to get results. And what I want is I want case studies, because I envision, I haven't asked you this, we haven't talked about this, but I envision that you might become like a regular, trainer for us, and we do this, more than once, and we have to do different, 2 months from now. And so I'm sitting there going, wait a sec, the timing of this couldn't be better. I mean, for everyone who spent their time on today's call, think about this. It is now September 4th. You get in this boot camp, you get tuned up, you get on the best e-commerce platform in the world. Now I'm biased, but that's the Launchcart's amazing. And when you start seeing, if you're not familiar with Launchcart and what we're doing and what we have, it's going to blow your mind. But you're getting prepared and you're getting tuned up and you're getting ready for the biggest buying season of the year. And if you get in now, the timing of this couldn't be better, right? You think about it going, you're going to get ready right before Halloween, and then you go right into the Christmas buying season. And there will be people on this call that take Will up on this offer. They might make 100 grand in that fourth quarter, because that's the kind of volume that can happen in the fourth quarter of this year. So what I want to do is, and like I said, I want some case studies. I want some case studies for me. I want some case studies for Will on the Launchcart platform, using our upsells, our downsells, our order bumps, and everything we have. So I thought, okay, if somebody buys this course and you get 300 sales in your 30-day period of time, and let's say we make the 30-day period of time September. See, this is September, so this is August. Let's say you do 300 sales in either say September or October, in any of those first 2 months, because the boot camp will be ended the end of August, right? The 1st of September.
Yeah.
So if you do 300 sales in the next month or the following month, I'll give you 2 months to do 300 sales in a 30-day period of time, I'm going to pay for the course. I'm going to give you your $498.50.
Sweet.
I don't know if anyone's ever offered to do that before, Will.
Yeah, that's pretty
but
awesome.
I am motivated, right, to get you results on my platform and our platform, because we've been building this platform for years and years and years, and we're in this launch mode right now. And I want the world to know how our platform gives you higher conversions, how our platform can increase your average order value, how our platform can help you get into the print-on-demand, manufacture-on-demand space faster and easier than any other platform there is. And then, like Will said, with our platform, somebody asked earlier, is it like GrooveCart? Well, I obviously think it's better than GrooveCart, but even with our free plan, you can build one funnel and one flow with our free plan. So it's like having ClickFunnels integrated with Shopify, and you can use it for free to show that it works. We have long form sales pages that lead into funnels. We have, and again, if you go to Shopify, you have to have customer comments. You have to have our customer reviews. How do you have a good e-commerce site without customer reviews? It's built into our platform. Promotional bars built into our platform. Email acquisitions into MailChimp built into our platform. Exit pops built into our platform. So all this stuff's already there for you. And when Will said tech's not a problem, it's a no-code platform, and we want to help you get up and going fast, right? So we built a platform that's no code, and abandoned cart emails already programmed in, already happened. It's just so simple. So let's answer some questions. So if you got any questions, bring them in the box now.
So I see a couple in there. Is that in Canadian dollars? No, it's US. Oh, you already answered that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Those Canadians are always trying to save a few extra dollars.
Well, you can't blame them, yeah.
And you know what's interesting about Canadians is, like, you guys, I have met so many amazing e-commerce print-on-demand and sellers from Canada. It's like you guys just breed them up there. It's incredible.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us, that's for sure. I think because the winter's so cold, we got to stay inside.
So Eric asked, and I thought this was a good question. Do you teach Facebook ads in this course? He's been banned from Facebook, kind of like other people have been banned. You know, I heard you say you've been, got your account shut down and got back up and shut down back up. One of my good buddies, Maxwell Finn, he did probably $1 million or more a month of Facebook advertising, and he was banned. He's gone. He's at TikTok, 100% TikTok now.
Yeah, I spent 7 figures. They banned me.
So the question is what will you teach when it comes to the media buying stuff?
Yeah, it'll be the main focus for me too is TikTok, especially with this stuff. It works very well when you find a winner.
Okay,
But there's
there
also
you go, TikTok.
what I also like, depending on the demographic of the product, is Pinterest ads.
Okay.
If it's a female dominated product, then you can go to Pinterest and you can make a lot of money with that. If it's a male dominated product, it's a bit harder on Pinterest.
Will that be part of the boot camp?
Yeah, I can put that in there. I've done a lot on that on Pinterest ads.
And when you talk about testing using free traffic to test,
Yeah.
do you also use paid media to test as well?
Not really for testing anymore. I tend to focus more on the free first, and I'm going to see which gives me a little bit of feedback. And if I'm getting some momentum on a product with free traffic, then I'll fire up some campaigns. So it's kind of like a buffer between jumping right into testing with paid ads. Because I found over the
Gotcha.
years, a lot of people, they run out of funds real quick when they test with paid ads only, and then they lose interest, and then they quit doing it. So I put that little thing in front where we can see where people are going, kind of like a magnet, and then we can basically exploit that with some paid ads.
Very cool. Okay, and then Eric asked earlier, he said, so are you using a new store yourself?
Yeah, it'll be a new store. Yeah, you'll see everything.
New launch cart store.
Yep,
Getting
new
getting
launch card.
getting the PPC coach on launch cart.
Yep. So they're going to
All
see
right,
everything
very
on
cool.
the store and the store itself.
So Eric asks, is it as hard as Groove Cart for a tech retard like me? It was hard for me in features. Oh,
Oh,
I have
Eric.
never.
No, Eric's from, yeah, I know Eric. You're in good hands. You know that. We'll get you
Yeah, Eric. All I can tell you is I've never heard anything good about Groove Cart. And I can show you video after video and testimony after testimony of people going, this is the easiest platform I've ever used. This is the simplest platform I've ever used. It's just it's intuitive, and I gotta give props to my son. My son runs the development team, and one of his superpowers is eliminating clicks and making things simple.
all right.
So you'll find that with LaunchCart.
So there's another question here. I have had my ad account shut down. How can I fix it to be back on? Yeah, that's $1 million question. You do appeal it, and then you basically wait. I mean, there's no. You could take the black hat route, which I've explored too, and I don't like on with Facebook ads. It's just something I don't want to do, where you can buy profiles and buy ad accounts, or even get agency accounts, and they charge you a fortune and have like a 3,000 minimum spend per day. But for the average Joe, there's no way that you're going to be using an agency account with Facebook ads. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you got to learn your lesson and make sure you're diversified and make sure you have other options, because you never know when something's going to happen on that platform, or when you just wake up one day to that message of like death basically on your screen, which
Yeah,
is
no, and I
worse.
have multiple business managers, multiple business ad accounts, and we've had some shut down, some not shut down, and you just have to be really, really careful. But like I said, guys like you and Maxwell Finn, you just running millions of dollars a month, and they get shut down. They don't really care, right? Somebody complains, some enemy, something happens, and so you just got to appeal it and go through that process.
Yeah, yeah, and it's totally out of your control. It is the most frustrating thing in the world when you appeal and they basically ignore you, and then you follow up and then they like shuffle you to the bottom of the pile. It's the worst. I don't want to put anything through anybody else through that. And that was on it was January 1st that I checked it, because I just shut off the campaigns after the Christmas rush on the 25th. I shut them down for a couple days. Came back on the 1st after a little break, and I was banned. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just had a wicked run, and now I'm banned. Not fun.
No, and that
Uh,
that that's like and again, because I own this platform and run this platform, I hear those kind of stories with Etsy. You mentioned Etsy a couple times, and same thing with Amazon. All of a sudden, I got a great business on Etsy, and then one day my store shut down. So I
yeah,
got a great business on Amazon doing FBA, or I'm doing fulfillment, whatever I'm doing on Amazon, and the next thing my store shut down.
yep,
You've got to have a platform where it's your asset, it's your business, it's your domain, it's your customers. That's the other thing. If it's Etsy, it's Etsy's customer. If it's Amazon, it's Amazon's customer.
hmm yeah. Well, even Shopify could shut you down if they felt like it.
Right.
If you're doing
No, and
some
Shopify has shut down a lot of companies,
yeah, they have.
mostly on the patriotic right wing side.
Yeah, big time.
So Lane
Uh,
says she's going to join to help get the case study for Greg. Thanks, Lane.
right on. There's another question up there. You mentioned spy tools used in Etsy and other places. Could you share the names of those? Yeah, I'm sharing them in the training. Absolutely. How's that for a teaser? They'll be in there, and you'll see me using them too, and how I go about it. Because I think I learned too that finding what's working is better than wasting my own time, energy, and money just guessing at what's working. I think there's a lot of people that are guessing right now, and it's not fun to guess because you get very frustrated and you lose you don't have any momentum to start, so you don't gain any, and then you get discouraged, and it's the worst thing.
Yeah,
What else we got here?
no. And if you and again, here's the other thing. I'd like to hear your opinion on this, right? So you there's those people that want to do this to make money, which obviously everyone on this call, they want to make money, right? But how do you, what do you coach people that, well, I want to build a brand and I want to put my design on brand and I want to put what this art I created on a t-shirt or on some POD. How do you, what's your comments on that?
It again, it goes back to our opinion of the product or the image or the design doesn't matter. So when you fall in love with something, that's dangerous because now you're going to ignore all the data because you're blinded by your love for what you did or what you created, and you think I love it, so everybody else should love it. But I've found over the years that with print on demand, it's usually the opposite. Some of the stuff that I've spent the most money on design wise, and I thought was like, man, that is awesome. And I would like buy that t-shirt or hoodie or whatever, or coffee mug right away because I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm going to retire on this one. And then I list it out there and I don't get a sale. And I'm like, what happened? So it's basically because I was putting my personal blinders on, my love for that design overtook everything, and it didn't help me at all. And in fact, it hurt me more than it helped me. So for people that are coming in saying, I've got this art, it's really good, I would say, have you sold it before? Has anybody else bought it? Because we can't put our personal feelings and our personal emotions on any design. And like the way I relate it is you treat your designs like one night stands. You use them and they're done. But the stuff that works is the stuff that you get married to. So don't get married to stuff that is not going to work, right? So
Yeah,
if you're artist, and of course you're going to be biased because you made it, you created it, and you think it's the greatest thing ever, but other people might not. So I would suggest they test it. If they're getting good feedback, and good feedback to me is sales, then yeah, maybe you're onto something. But if you don't get good feedback, don't get discouraged about that. Just think, well, I like it, but maybe other people don't. That's okay because everybody's different.
well, and let me give you something that I tell people that I think is really applicable is because LaunchCart's got this unique feature of multi-store management. You can log into one login and have one store, two stores, three stores, five stores, 10 stores. And I don't recommend anyone starts that many stores. But if you are an artist and you want to start selling your own artwork, or you want to start your own brand, like I'm starting a brand called Rescue Joe, drink a cup, save a pup, and it's a coffee brand. uh, I could still start another store and go through the training to learn the intricacies, the tools, the mindset, the strategies, and getting focused on what those things are, and then work on applying them to my artwork or my brand that I want to build. So, for
Hmm.
instance, you said um, if you got a women angled product, advertise on Pinterest. There you go. That's a golden nugget right there. So think about that. If you have this kind of artwork or if you have this kind of coffee, where am I going to advertise? Right. So that's where coaches like Will, who's been there and been doing this forever, he knows all the places to get traffic, all the places to get free traffic, buy traffic, paid traffic. And really it's about if you really want to build a brand, and I do like that myself because brands are great,
Hmm.
is where does your customers hang out? And then get with Will and get in the mastermind, get the coaching on how to get in front of those customers. But still, you're still going to test your designs, or maybe it's some POD designs that bring people in, and then the upsell on the future products is your higher end artwork or something along those lines. But I think the multi-store management helps solve part of that problem.
Yeah, for sure. There's another question here. Is there an agency? Is there agency accounts for Etsy? They banned me, got back on. They identified me, stole my cash, and tossed me off again. I went from 5K a month, 4 stores killed after 3 months. Oh man, I don't know of any agency accounts for Etsy, but my question is, why would you want to go back to that? Because they're probably going to catch you again and maybe keep some of your money again. That's scary. But that's when it's not your store, it's basically theirs, and you're a merchant on their website. So Etsy has like 81 million buyers and like 4.3 million sellers on there and like 1,200 employees. So you're just another number to them, honestly. They're good, but you gotta be careful. You just gotta diversify.
Yeah. And Deborah said that she had to step away to the restroom when you showed the slides of those designs. I think that was maybe, I think she's referring to the designs from Halloween or whatever. But the point is he just showed that you can go find using spy tools designs that are, they're guaranteed to sell because they're already selling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Lynn's asking, how long is the offer open?
Monday at midnight.
Monday at midnight.
Yeah, so if you go to that link, you'll see there's a countdown timer on it. And I hope I set the timer right, but yeah, it should be Monday at midnight when it closes. So
Eric asks, do we need a merchant account for Launchcart? What suppliers do you use for the course, Gear Bubble, Sling Leaks? Okay, so what we have is we are integrated, first of all, with a merchant account, you can use Stripe, PayPal, or if you have Chase Merchant Services or you have your own merchant account, you can tie in your own merchant account through a gateway we have called NMI, which is one of the largest gateways in the globe. And we're also integrating with a new payment gateway called Revere Payments, and you can get a merchant account with them. And their whole tagline is "Cancel culture has no place here." So that's up, as well as we accept Bitcoin. Check this out. I don't even know if you know this, Will. We're the only e-commerce platform in the world that has acceptance of Bitcoin transferred into currency in milliseconds that you can also use in your funnels.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know where we tap in. I'm going to try to figure out how we tap into the Bitcoin millionaires because again, a lot of these people got Bitcoin. They don't have anywhere to spend their money. But so that's another really super cool feature we have. Then, as far as your question, as far as products, we integrate with two of the world's largest print-on-demand and providers. One is called Printful, and Printful has a worldwide footprint with facilities in Japan, Australia, Canada, Europe, Latvia, I think it's how you say it, and then here in the United States, and then Printify. And then Printify has thousands of people that they integrate with. They're like a middleman. And so they have that. And then by the time we get ready for Christmas, we're integrating with another company that has personalized metal art, personalized keychains, wooden keychains, personalized wooden boards, cutting boards, personalized wallets, leather wallets, things that can be laser engraved and etched engraved. And so we're adding personalization to our platform in the next 45 days.
Right on. There's another question for you, Greg. Do you have a selection/collection of e-commerce themes?
We have 7 themes. One of the things we did when we built Launchcart is we said people get too tied up in the procrastination and decision-making mode. So let's give them 7 decent themes, that work, that function, that look good, that can, make them look good. And that way you just don't have a bunch of, because again, with Shopify, you got thousands of themes, right? And it's way more complicated. So we have 7 themes, and we are going to be next year adding more themes and theme builders and theme customization. But right now, we wanted to go to market. We're marketers. I'm a marketer. I'm a digital marketer since 1997 to build a platform that's going to increase average order value, speed to market, multi-store management, user management, upsells, downsells, cross-sells, order bumps. And we're building what we call the source and sell marketplace, which is another story for another time. But we're going to change the game in the world of drop shipping, of and affiliate marketing. Actually, I'm gonna tease him real quick. We're working on a platform where we can bring real brands into the drop shipping business. So like right now, we're working on a deal. I don't know if it's going to happen, 50-50, but bringing in Billabong, Volcom, and basically 80 brands that are all in the surfboard skateboard world. And then we'll take that brand and we'll bring in other brands. And I also already acquired the rights to all the characters, the fairy tale characters, Cinderella, Tinkerbell, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Seven Dwarfs, and my licensor allows me to let you be a reseller. So we're going to be doing stuff and taking the whole print on demand, manufacture on demand, drop shipping business to a whole nother thing. We call it on demand, and it's going to be in with what we call our source and sell marketplace.
Right on. That's awesome.
Lisa says, if I already have a store on Launchcart with designs, will it be easier for us?
Oh yeah, it'll be much easier. Yeah, you'll be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you'll be ahead of the game.
Just trying to see if we missed any here.
Jeff asked about the cancel culture processor. It's called Revere Payments. I think we got them all. I
Yeah, I think we got
I
them
don't
all
see
too.
any questions. So last call for questions, then we're going to call it a night, everybody. I put the link in the chat box, so you can click the link, but also you can just go to ppc-coach.com/300. And remember, you're going to build your store on Launchcart. You're going to be, I'm going to be in that group as part of the mastermind. You do your 300 sales in either the month of, you got to do them in September or October. And I'm gonna reimburse you, rebate you, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna give you your money back to get in this course.
That alone should have people jumping all over it. That's awesome.
Right? And I promise you, if you do 300, when you do those 300 sales, you get your money back. You're going to be doing some serious money in Christmas time. The timing is perfect. And I want to thank you so much for doing this, because we literally put this together in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is so critical for me because Christmas is coming. Everyone wants to have a good Christmas and holidays, and the timing couldn't be better.
Absolutely.
So Dave's
Yes,
asking
sir.
if there's a payment plan.
I've had nothing but bad luck with those. And I can tell you, every time I offer a payment plan, I get stiffed at least 50% of the time. So me personally, I won't do them. I think if this is too much for you, that's okay. Maybe next time. But yeah, I just don't want to do them. It's just too many years of too many people. So I'm not saying you would do that. I'm just saying that I want people to be fully committed and have like full skin in the game to do this. Because if you pay a little bit, then to me, it's like you're not 100% in. You're dipping your toe in it, but you're not quite diving in head first. So it just doesn't work for me, unfortunately. I know people don't want to hear that, but maybe I can talk to Greg after, but that's my opinion right now anyway.
Yeah, no, and Dave, Jeff, my partner Jeff, he's got a financing company that we're going to work with because some of the other stuff that we're doing. So we'll be able to send out a link, and you could also sometimes PayPal is a financing program too. But we're going to set up a financing program. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And then because it's no shine on products. Let me ask you a question. I don't know. I know that we have a seller on our platform that sells the Gear Bubble jewelry, and they use our order export tool, and then they send the orders over there through an order export tool. Could somebody manually put a Gear Bubble product on a Launchcart store and then somehow get the order into Shine On for fulfillment? Do you know?
Like list a Shine On product and then export it?
And somehow import it into Shine On so the order gets put into
I think they do
Shine
have
On.
that ability with a CSV file. I'm 99% sure you can.
Okay. Well, if we have CSV exports, so if you wanted to, yeah, you could definitely do that. If that's the case, we could do some Sleeping Beauty and some Tinkerbell and some princesses cards that no one else in the world has. I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, they have their API now. Watched it on YouTube yesterday. There you go.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Robin, when all launch cart customers are going to have access to our source and sell marketplace, and depending on what plan you're on, there'll be different levels. You'll have to be on a payment plan to get access to the brands. And but my goal at the end of the day is I want to have everything from Michael Kors purses to, just all the we're gonna legitimize the dropshipping world. The dropshipping world's got run through the mud because of all the bad actors. But we're going to put technology and systems in place in 2023. We're going to legitimize it. And when you guys start to do some research on who I am and who my partner is, we're going to bring real brands to the table. Yeah, I'm not doing China. I did China.
Yeah, I did that too. I didn't like that.
That's a terrible business model. It's it's terrible business model. All right. I think that's it, everybody. I think that's the questions. You guys have the link. I don't know if
Oh,
there's
and
anything else you want
I'll
to
be
say.
sending out a replay too to everybody. So if there's anything that we went over too quickly, then you can certainly have a look at the replay, get in on that. And then if you have any questions, I'm available. Greg's available. My email will be, well, you can just hit reply to my email and I can talk to you about anything you want. But it's ppccoach@gmail.com. So I'm there.
Okay. Well,
Greg's there. We're all there. We want you to
Phil,
succeed. That's the key.
I like Phyllis said. Phyllis said that last comment you just sold me. All right, so she's a patriot. So I'm a
Yep.
born again, spirit filled patriot, man. So I'm all about USA. All right,
Right on.
thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Will. I'll be touching base with you soon, and
Yes, sir.
I'm already in the group. So as you guys get in this program, he's going to invite you to the group. And here's another little thing too. It's not like this group's going to have 1,000 people in it. This is a very intimate group. So the coaching and the mentorship you're getting is going to be incredible. So I'm going to say thanks to everybody. Appreciate you, Will, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Have a great night.